do you sleep or you just have nightmares about HH? No, this is not about HH. This is about our country. This is about our country. This country belongs to all of us. And I'm sure the 2.8 people that went to vote for President Hakainde Hichilema and his government, they were hopeful that, we would have something different. Unfortunately, things are worse in every aspect of it. Things are worse now. Praise singers can say whatever they want, but at the end of the day, reality is just what it is. Things are worse now. You can defend President Hakainde Hichilema, you can insult me all you want, but at the end of the day, things are worse. Commodity prices have gone up. The human rights space is shrinking. Our democratic space is shrinking. Even the pride that UPND were talking about, that they have removed cadres are coming up. I'm just from watching one cadre issuing threats to me that we'll sort you out because you are talking about President Hakainde Hichilema. There is an English adage that if you don't want, if you don't like the heat, don't go into the kitchen. If you don't like the heat, don't go into the kitchen. Otherwise, you go in the kitchen, it's hot in there. If you don't want us to talk about President Hakainde Hichilema, let him resign. Let President Hakainde Hichilema resign. We will not talk about him. We will not talk about him. But as long as he is administering the welfare of this nation, he will always be our subject. And I, for one, will not stop. This is a promise. I've put my life on this, and I'm not turning back. I've said it before. If I have to die at the hands of the UPND government, at the hands of President Hakainde Hichilema, so be it. My God will look after my children. You like to say, no, your children, hey, your wife. God is there. God will look after my children. If I have to die at the hands of the UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema's leadership, that I'm not going to compromise and I'm not going to back down. I am not backing down at all. So those of you who are making videos threatening me, please do what you please. Do what you are sent. Do it now, because I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. If you want to kill me, do it now, because I'm not relenting. Anyway, the issue that I want to talk about today is an issue that really we shouldn't be talking about. The fight to hunt out the DPP out of our office. A lot of people have given their opinion, including Laz. And I must say, the statement from Laz was quite embarrassing. Really, really embarrassing. I'm just going to talk about a bit of this subject, but what I intend to do is to have a press conference tomorrow. Tomorrow I will hold a press conference at 10 hours at my office to discuss, to give out more details, on this issue. For tonight, I just want to challenge those that are calling on the Allegiance Yui to state why they want her to go, why they are asking for her to resign. Why are you asking for the DPP to resign? I must say that Lillian is one of those people that I've never met. I've never met. Okay, well, I met her in some meeting, whatever, but not really meeting her as a person. I don't know her. So I've got no any connections or affiliation apart from the fact that she's a DPP. That's all. That's all. And as one of those who have been in court, I can assume she has also looked at me, going to court for some of these frivolous cases. And I don't think she did anything to stop those who were persecuting me. And I know there are some other people also who are innocent, who have been, dragged to court, and I don't think she did anything to stop the injustice. But whatever the case, Lillian Siyuni is the DPP. She's the current DPP. She's ratified by Parliament, and her contract is still going on. I don't know if it's a contract or whatever it is, but she is the substantive DPP. And you cannot just hold her out of that office unless you don't want to follow the law, unless you are not the government of rule of law, as President Hakainde Hichilema like to claim. President Hakainde Hichilema claims that this government is a government that is going to rule by the rule of law. But we have seen in many instances that this is not true. This is not true. And the coming up of cadres calling on the DPP to resign, it is an evidence that this government is not a government that President Hakainde Hichilema and the praise singers claim it to be. You are claiming that this government wants to do things differently from the PF. I want to tell you that the way you are doing things, you are worse than the PF. Because at least the PF, into some of the things that they were doing, they were applying some intelligence. But what you are doing, I'm wondering if indeed there are people who are thinking properly with some of the things that you are pulling off. And then the dishonesty, the hypocrisy. You guys have no shame in terms of your hypocrisy. Today you are signing, or you are agreeing with some people. Tomorrow you are doing something else. You're just coming out of a meeting. No, we are going to do this and that and that. You're coming out of the meeting. You do something else. This is where I want to challenge President Hakainde Hichilema and his aides to come out clean on KCM and the Miringolungu. It is clear that the UPND want to bring back KCM to Konkola. They want to bring back Vedanta to Konkola. And a lot of people in the Copper Belt, they don't want Vedanta. They don't want Vedanta. But UPND is seemingly gravitating towards giving back KCM to Vedanta. I don't think this will be welcomed by the people of Zambia. I don't think so. And then in terms of Miringolungu, unfortunately, I have to say that the Director General of the DEC must be very, very careful, because she might think that she's playing ball, and yet she's just being used. I wish I could say more, but I want to appeal to the deck boss that be careful, you are being used. You are being used. Be very careful, because you are being used. You must, the citizen must ask themselves, how did the DPP reach at a point of entering Enole? How? Why did she enter Enole? Why did she enter Enole? Do you think she just woke up and went to her office and said, I'm entering Enole here? Do you think this is what happened? Do you think that woman can be so careless to go to her office and simply enter Enole? Do you think that's what really happened? I want to tell you that actually that's not what happened. I will give the details tomorrow during my press conference. But I want to assure you that Lillian did not wake up and go to her office and say, I'm issuing Enole. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. And then, even some of the cases that are slapped on Milingo Lungu, do you think you have understood the cases? Do you think you have understood the cases? Do you think the cases that Milingo Lungu has been slapped with, do you think that's really what happened? I can assure you there is more to those cases than the conviction that the UPND want to, administer on social media. I have had the privilege of, listening from different people on this issue. And I can assure you that the case of Milingo Lungu is not a case that would go anywhere. And this is why the UPND themselves, this government entered into some negotiations. They entered into some negotiations, and that is how that Nole came about. But from nowhere, somebody tips Mary to say, can you go and arrest him? So that the DPP comes out to be like she's acting on her own. No. I want you to know that the DPP was not acting alone. The DPP was not acting alone. Not at all. Not at all. Get it in your heads. Lillian Siyuni was not acting on her own. A negotiation was entered into. And that is how that Nole came about. But because of the hypocrisy of this disaster government, they asked Mary to go and arrest over the same cases that where they had struck a deal. But they go around and tell Mary, go and arrest Milingo Lungu. Unless you don't think properly, can you believe that the DPP would enter Enole in a matter of high public interest like the one of Milingo Lungu, unless you don't think properly? But if you really think properly, you would definitely see that really there is something that is going on. I will give some details tomorrow at a press briefing. I want to give some to do a press briefing so that the media can pick it up. What I'm going to say, so that the media can pick it up. That's what I want to do. Tomorrow I'll give a press conference, give some details so that the media can pick up what I'm going to bring out tomorrow. But in this broadcast, I want you to know that Lillian never did anything on her own. Never did anything on her own. Discussions, deals were cut, and hence the Nole. And part of that is, the weight of the case. Part of that is the weight of the case. And that's why the Nole was entered. And you can now see how awkward it is that Mary goes and arrests the Milingo Lungu. And if you think of it, Laz has come up very quickly to support Mary, to say she has got the right. I don't know what's going on at LAS. I don't know what is going on at LAS. I usually don't like to argue with the learned councils, but I don't know what's going on at LAS. I mean, honestly, how do you go and arrest a person on a matter that a DPP has entered the Nole? How? The same matter, you go and arrest a person. The DPP enters the Nole and you go and arrest the person. Isn't that undermining the constitutional duties of the DPP? Because the DPP has got the right to enter a Nole. And when she enters a Nole, she's not accountable to anyone. That's what is in the Constitution. She's not accountable to anyone. So she enters a Nole and DEC still arrests the person. So now DEC or Mary is expecting the DPP to enter another Nole, like she is said in a statement, to say we will be arresting and they will be entering Noles. And those of you who are thinking that this government is better than the PF, when did you ever see professionals at that level bickering in the public? When did you ever see that? That letter from Lillian going to the Director General, how did it find itself in social media? Who leaked that document? Who leaked that letter? Who leaked that letter? Who leaked it? And then Mary, instead of responding quietly and sending it, she goes to the media and she's issuing statement. It is now Chochi Sevambo Kulaka. When did we ever see this? When did we ever see professionals at that level, washing dirty linen in public? When did we ever see this? It is happening under President Hakainde Hichilema, the man that claimed that he's going to rule this country better than others, and yet is ruling it worse than others. Because we have never had this, where the DPP comes, the DPP says something, DEC says something. I mean, I do remember there was TIF during the time of Benam Tembonchito and Mkereva. But whatever they were arguing about, we never saw it coming out in the public the way we are seeing it now. We never saw that. Something is awfully wrong, because President Hakainde Hichilema and his aides are doing politics and they are being hypocritical. So they are throwing professionalism and the secrecy of government through the window just so that they can, target some people. In this case, they are targeting the DPP. They know the DPP can't come out and say, this is what happened in the closed doors. Meanwhile, Mary is coming out on social media and saying things on social media. The DPP can't do that. But Mary is doing it. So how are we going to know the truth? How are we going to know the truth? Busy crucifying the DPP. Why are you crucifying the DPP? Why are you putting pressure on the DPP to resign? Why? Why are you putting pressure on the DPP to resign? What has she done? What has she done? So far, I've read to my documentations, to my complaints that has gone, to the Judicial Complaint Commission. I don't see anything warranting the DPP to resign. I don't see it. I don't see it. But you want a friendly DPP, a compromised DPP, who can do wrong things, who cannot advise properly. This is what you want. Unfortunately, the DPP has got security of tenure. She has got security of tenure and she cannot be removed just like that. So, by UPND, you cadres, you have to deal with it. Ask yourself, what has this woman done? What has this woman done? And, women organizations, these are situations when you are supposed to come up and defend a professional woman here. This is the time, by NGOs, this is the time that you come in to defend this woman who is being harassed by cadres, being harassed by State House, for that matter. Being harassed by State House. State House is harassing, the DPP. And Imwava, NGOCC, and other women organizations, you are quiet. You are quiet. You are letting cadres putting up placards. Why don't you put up placards yourself also to defend this woman? Put up placards. Put up placards. You should be counted. I'm not defending this person because of anything. Like I've said, I don't know her. I've got no connections whatsoever. But this woman is being harassed. And we have a number of women that are harassed, hounded out of the offices without you women organizations coming up. There was a time when we had Irene Lamba at ACC. She was harassed, hounded out of that office by the PF then, and you were quiet. Thank God she has now been appointed as commissioner. But what did Irene Lamba do? She did nothing. She was an innocent woman. But they fabricated cases to hound her out of that office. Then we had Rosemary, the former, the one who was acting. Again, she was hounded out. She was hounded out. Yes, yes, baby. Kia is calling. Let me just finish up this. I'll be with you soon. Now we have this woman, and they will hound her out. Mary might feel comfortable today, but I want to tell you, Mary, you are not safe. You are not safe. Believe you me, you are not safe. You are not safe. Don't think that these people, don't think that these people are on your side. They are just using you. They are just using you. Whatever it is, they are just using you. There will come a time when they will throw stones at you. They will throw stones at you, accusing you of things that you have not done. People without principle are not people that you should trust. People without principle are not people that you should trust. Hypocrites are hypocrites. They will say one thing today, tomorrow they will say something else. They are setting you up. One day, Mary, today, you seem to be quarreling with Lillian Suyui in the media, and you feel you have got their backing. These people have no principle. These people have no principle. If they can come up with some deals, and immediately after the meeting, they turn around. These people are not people that you should trust. And I want to also tell a lot of other government workers that please be very careful, be professional. Don't follow what these politicians are telling you. These are not politicians you should trust. These are not politicians you should trust. I say this. These are not politicians that you should trust. These politicians are selfish. especially the crop of politicians that we have. They are just using people. They will use you and they will throw you out. They will use you and they will throw you out. They only think about themselves. Don't think that they care for you. We spoke about, they promised. President Hakainde Hichilema promised that when I come into power, I will bring back all those who were fired. All those who were fired on political lines. Have they been brought back? You went to vote in numbers to vote for him. You went to vote in numbers for him. You voted for him, thinking that you are going to get back your jobs. Has he given you back your jobs? Have he given you back your jobs? And some of you, including Wakapokola na Vanani, you are busy doing wrong things. Wrong things. At Muzungwani conduct, Vami Monat, no. You are doing a good job. You are loyal, whatever. Forget it. Forget it. President Hakainde Hichilema doesn't care for you. He doesn't care for you. If he cares for you, those that he promised that he's going to bring them back, they would have been in employment today. They would have been in employment. Is he even talking about it? Is he even talking about it? So, my brothers and sisters, from what is obtaining, this doesn't look like a government that cares for you. This is a government that uses people and throws them away. This is a government that uses people and throws them away. So those of you who are doing wrong things, thinking that, you are helping this government, Luenu, those of you cadres who are being sent, demonstrate against the DPP, demonstrate. How much are they giving you? How are they looking at, what is in there, what is in it for you? What are you getting out of it? I know not much, because I know UPND. I know UPND. But if you ask yourself, within yourself, what has this woman done that you should be demonstrating, you should be putting up placards? What has she done? What has she done? It is not fair what is going on in this country. This government is worse than the PF that we removed out of power, thinking that they will do better. Thinking that they will do better. This is not right. This is not right. This is not right. That woman is protected by the Constitution. If this government respects the Constitution, let that woman continue. If she does something bad, fine. I'll be the first one to say yes, resign. But so far, there is nothing that she has done. The knowledge that you are talking about, it's not a creation. It's not a creation. And I'll talk about some of these things tomorrow. Natasha, I hope you will watch. Natasha, the Administrator General, I hope you will watch. Tomorrow, you will follow tomorrow's press conference, because I have a few questions for you. State House, I have a few questions for you tomorrow. Attorney General, I have a few questions for you. Solicitor General, I have a few questions for you. All of you are part of what is happening at KCM. And you want to sacrifice an innocent woman. You want to sacrifice her. You want to sacrifice her. For what? For what? Why do you want to sacrifice that woman? What has she done? You are busy fishing out cases, trying to find cases. Bring other cases, but on Miringolungu, she has done nothing wrong. She has done nothing wrong. And I want you people who are watching to be ambassadors of goodwill, to be ambassadors of justice. Circulate this video. Let people know that the DPP didn't do anything wrong in the Nole of Miringo. She didn't do anything wrong. And if anything, she's not the one that really entered it. Yes, of course, from her point of view, she looked at the weight of the case. But much of it was negotiated. Much of it was negotiated by State House, the Attorney General's office, Solicitor General's office, Minister of Justice. They negotiated this. And the one who had to act was the DPP. And today, you are busy throwing stones at the DPP. The DPP has done nothing. She has done nothing. She's an innocent woman. She's an innocent woman. She can't come out and talk the way I'm talking. She can't come out and talk. She's a sacrificial lamb. But Mary feels she's a darling one. She's the one that is loved. Mary at deck. I can assure you, Mary, one day you will remember these words. One day you will remember these words. These people are using you. They are using you. How do they ask you to go and arrest a person who they have negotiated? And the negotiations, not because, they are letting go of the cases, but realizing that they are going nowhere. And then they send you to go and arrest him. And Laz is coming up with a statement to say, no, these people are okay. How can you issue such a statement? If they arrest, who is going to prosecute? The one who prosecutes, because cases, a number of cases, you have to take to NPA for them to give consent to say, yes, we can prosecute this. If they see that the case does not stand, they will tell you, no, we can't prosecute this. And yet you say, no, you can keep on arresting, regardless of what NPA thinks, regardless of what the DPP thinks. Honestly, how can you guide a nation? Can you misdirect a country like that? It is simple logic. It's common sense. It's common sense. It's the DPP that prosecutes. So, in as much as Vakapokola and all these others, they work independently, at the end of the day, those cases, they go to the DPP. The DPP to prosecute, even to give legal opinion. And then you say, no. They are independent. And Mary, you are making politics to say you will be arresting and you'll be entering knowledge. Is it a circus? What's going on? It's not fair. It's not good. It's not good. What is currently going on is not good. And unfortunately, you may hate me, you may not like me, you may intimidate me, you can do anything you want. But the truth of the matter is that what you are doing is unjust. What you are doing is hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy. It's the same thing that President Edgar Lungu was talking about. This is what Edgar Lungu was talking about. A number of issues have been agreed, were agreed, if I could put it, before he even handed over power. And even after he handed over power, you have been talking. But meanwhile, you are busy squeezing here, people here and there. You are even going to an extent of exhuming dead bodies just because it's connected to President Edgar Lungu. Just because it's connected to Edgar Lungu, you go and exhume a body. And some people want to believe that, some of these people have committed so much crime. I mean, you are convicting a man in his death. The man is long gone, but you are convicting him. Instead of leaving him to rest in peace, but you are convicting him. You are going to exhume his body and doing all sorts of things which we have not heard of in this country. This is the hypocrisy. This is the uncouthness of this government. The hard-heartedness, not having a heart. And when we bring out these issues, you say, no, go and arrest him. And because you know that others will not talk, you know Miringo Lungu can't talk, you know Edgar Lungu can't talk, you know the DPP can't talk, and you are busy feasting on them. Feasting on them, unleashing cadres like worms on them. It's hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy. It's lacking credibility, lacking integrity. It is really, really sad. As far as I'm concerned, I will speak. I will not stop. Because what you are doing is very bad. It's really, really bad. You go and exhume a person just because he was linked to President Edgar Lungu. There are a number of things. I mean, we know. There are a number of things. I don't want to start mentioning it, but you know yourselves. What happened to Faith? What happened to Faith? We know. I know what happened to Faith. I know. But where is Faith? You still have to drag her back in court and what and what. For what? For what? You know the story. You know the story. And yet, you are playing to the gallery. You are playing to the gallery that you are fighting corruption. Yet you are worse than those that you are pointing fingers at. Because you are not just corrupt, you are also hypocritical. You are not just corrupt, you are also hypocritical. You come out with, with a straight face and lie to people over something that you know. You are such a disgrace, such a shame. Such a shame, really. Let me leave it there for now. Let me prepare for a press conference tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a press conference, and tomorrow I want, to bring out something more detailed around this issue so that the media can pick it up, can continue with it. When I'm talking here, it's social media. The media usually don't take news from here. But I want to have a press conference tomorrow so that the media can ask questions and I can give them leads, something that they can run with. Not this nonsense that is currently going on, that Lillian has entered a Nole. No, she didn't enter a Nole. She didn't enter a Nole on her own. It is as a result of the negotiations that happened, and that's how that Nole came about. Mary was just sent, go and arrest, and overzealously she went and arrested Miringo Lungu. The case that those cases that she has arrested Miringo Lungu for, she can't even prosecute them. Even if she was the DPP, she can't prosecute them. They can't stand. And those people in State House, they know. Those people at the DPP, at whatever, they know. They know. Even if Msokotwane knows. They know. But people are being cheated, and praise singers are there. Hey. What are you cheering? These people are lying to you. They are lying to you. I'm telling you, they are lying to you. You may not want to believe me, but think of it. Just stop for a moment. Think of it. A case of high public interest. A DPP would wake up and go to the office and enter a Nole. You think that would happen? You think that would happen? Hey, anyway.